Hello again. So this is another lecture which is related to the MATLAB. So today we are going to discuss another very important topic, and that is regarding the scripting of any programming in the MATLAB environment. Okay, so suppose we have some statements which we are going to write here in the command window, and those statements are basically interdependent or each other. And for writing each and every statement here in the command window, what we have to do, first of all, we have to define some variable like a equal to 10. Then after it we have to process it by using some other processing thing like c equal to a multiplied by 3 and so on. And after writing all those statements, what will happen if we want to run those again? What we have to do, we will go back to those statements and then run them again here. Okay, so it will be a very tedious task, and it is not a very professional way of writing any program. So in order to, let me clear it first. So in order to avoid these type of confusions, there is a platform or the file extension in the MATLAB, and that is called the script environment. Okay, so script files or the .m files in the MATLAB are the ways in which lengthy programs can be written and can be run over and over again. Okay, so suppose if you want to create a program, what you have to do here in the left corner, you have to click over the new script file. After clicking over it, you will see that another window will appear, and here this is the environment where you can write your own program. So suppose what we have to do, I am going to write a program which first of all initialize the variable a here, and after it will display the value it has. Okay, so what will be the value here? So displaying any value here, I will have to write the command here, and that is the disp. Okay, so in order to display anything, what I have to do, I have to write the variable or anything here inside the brackets. Okay, so after writing it, what we have to do, we have to save it. So let me save it with the name of first. Okay, so that is, and the by default extension of it is .m, and it will be saved in my path where I have stored all my variables, and that is the path of all the files here. Okay, so let me save it here, and after saving it, there is the button here, and that is the run button. Okay, so I can also press here F5 as well. So let me run it here by clicking over it, and to see the results, what I have to do, I have to get back to the command window, and here I will see that the results will be shown here. Okay, and that is the value of the a. So that is the scripting procedure in the MATLAB file. Okay, so in order to write the comments with my statements here, each and every one of these line is basically the statement here, and in order to write the comments here with each and every line here, what I have to do, there is the percentage sign, and it is used for the commenting here. So let me write the comment here, is that variable initialization, and this is the value display. Okay, so comments are the statements which are basically neglected by the environment, and these statements are not used by the programming environment for the running. Okay, so once I will run it again, what will happen, you will see that the same statement will be displayed here. Okay, in order to run it again, what I have to do, in the command window I can write first, and you will see that it will show me the values here. Okay, so in order to reinitialize all the values, or to display all the values, I have basically a very important thing here for you all. So what you have to do, first of all, you have to write the CLC and write clear here as well. So by writing all these things here, you have seen here that whenever I will write this first, it will be displayed after the commands which I have executed earlier on. Okay, so in order to display it in such a way that all the previous commands will be removed, all the variables are removed, and it will be started from the very beginning, what I have to do, I can write here the CLC and clear, and after clear I can also write the clear all. So that is the professional way of writing any program here. And I will see here that now let me save it, Control S, and I will see that now when I will press first, I will see that only 10 will be appeared here, and after writing it I will see again that 10 will be appeared. Okay, so sorry, that is first. Okay, so that is a more professional way of programming. Okay, so now this is the displaying here. So suppose what if you want to get some input from a user and you have to display it. Okay, suppose you don't want to display this 10, but you want the user to display to enter an input and you want to display it over here. What you will do, there is a method or function here, and that is the input function, and inside of it you have to write the statements that what you want the users to read. Okay, so suppose enter the value of A. Okay, and after running it, let me save it, and now when you will run it over here, what it will do, it will ask you to enter a value. So let me enter here 20. So what I have written there, when I will write this value, what it will do, it will display it. Okay, so that is the functionality of the input, and I can use it here as well. Okay, so in order to write some more programs here in this one script file in such a way that these will be divided into some chunks or some parts of the programs, in order to construct separate sections of the programs here, what I can do, I can basically write here 1 and 2. So writing 2 percentage signs, what I can do, I can write some other programs here as well, so which can also work separately in one script file. So giving it the name like second section. So let me have here another procedure, and it sees if a user which has entered some value is greater than 10 or not. Okay, so suppose if a user has entered a value A and I want to see that whether that value is greater than 10 or not, what I will do, there are some other statements in the MATLAB as well, which are also already available in the C, C++, Python as well. So these are called the conditional statements. So in conditional statements, I see that whether a value A satisfies some condition, then I have to perform some functionality over it, otherwise you can perform the other functionality over that variable. Okay, so suppose what I have to do, I can check that whether the value here entered is greater than 10. Okay, so if the value is greater than 10, what I have to do, I will display, let us say I want to display that the value is greater than 10. Okay, if it is not greater than 10, means else. So what it will do, it will display the value is less than 10. Okay, so after it, what you have to do here, in order to tell the package that now I am going to leave this if statement, so what you have to do, you have to write here this AND statement, and you will see that after writing this AND, this is now complete, and here you will see after it and running it here. So now let me run it. It will ask me to enter some value, and let me put 20, and it will first of all display it and then tell me that it is greater than 10. Okay, so let me run it again, and now again it will ask me to enter the value of A. So let me enter 5 here, and it will tell me the value is less than 10. So in this way I can run this overall program. But initially I have told you that this program can also be run in the form of sections, and I have divided it into the sections by using this statement here. So what I have to do in order to run this section which is above this line here, what I can do, there is a run section command here. When I will run it, what it will do, it will run all the statements which are above the line. So it is asking me to enter the value, and while I will enter it, it will just display it and not checking that whether that value is greater than 10 or not, because those conditional statements are written now below this line here. Okay, so this is the line. If I want to run this section here, what I will do, I will write this section here, and after running it, it will not ask me to enter any value, because that value has already been entered, and it will now check whether that value is greater than 10 or not. So as the value of 2 was less than 10, so it will display the value of 2 is less than 10. Okay, so that is the essence of the conditional statement, and you can use it for your own programming and for your own purposes as well. Okay, so that is all about the conditional statements. Similarly, what if you want to repeat some statements inside the MATLAB program? So repeat the functionality of some statements. So those are basically the loop statements. So in order to use the loop statements, what you have to do, so suppose you have, let me use another section here, and that is this one, and let me call it loop statement. Okay, so once you have entered some value, what you will do, you want to display all the values from 1 to that number here in this program. So for that I can use a loop, and that is the for loop. So for loop, what I have to do, what is the syntax of the for loop? Initially what you have to write, you have to write the for, and after it you have to initialize or declare some variable, and that is here, let me call it I. So run I equal to from 1 to the value a. Okay, so that what it will do, it will display all the values from 1 to a. What is the a? The a is basically the value which a user has inserted before. Okay, so what it will do after it, disp, and it will now display a, and after it you also have to write this and as well. Okay, so let me run it now, the overall statement. So let me write here 10 or 11 here as well. So let me write 11 here. What it will do, first of all, in the first here, it will display the value of the a, then it will check whether the value is greater than 10 or not. So as the value of 11 is greater than 10, so it has displayed that the value is greater than 10. And my loop statement, what I have told it, that for I equal to 1 to a, this colon is used for 2. Okay, so if you want to display some value from some number to another number, what it will do, it will take this initial number, then the semicolon, the colon, and then this the end number, and as I want to display it, I will do this one. Okay, similarly, what is the use of this colon here? So suppose if you want to have a value of b which should consist of all the values from 0 to 100 which are even numbers. Okay, so in order to write the values, so in order to write all the values from 0 to 100, what you can do, you can write 0 to 100. Okay, so after writing it, or let me call it from 0 to 10. So for the simplicity, let us write it a small number. So when you will put it like this, what it will do, it will write all the values from 0 to 10. Okay, so but if I want to get all the numbers which are even here, what I can do here, I can write here 0 to 10, while the step here is 2 digits away. Here you are getting first number, then the second number which is 1 number away, the third number which is 1 number away from the consecutive number, and so on. So these are all the consecutive numbers which are basically 1 number away from each other. So now if you want to create a number which are two numbers away from each other, you will have to write this one. By default, if you write this one, so here the numbers will be one figure away or one digit away from each other. So writing it here, what it will do, you can see that now these are two digits away, and you can see that these are all the even numbers. Similarly, if you want to make them 4 digits away, what you can do here, the 4 digits away numbers are basically these three, which are 0, 4, 8 and so on. If you want to make them 200, what it will do, it will write all the numbers which are away from each other, 4 digits. So 0, 4, 8, each and every consecutive number is 4 at the difference of 4 from each other. So writing like the greater number minus the smaller number here. So what I will get, 80 minus 76 is 4, 76 minus 72 is 4 as well. So that is the essence of this colon operator. Similarly, what if you want to generate the numbers which are in the reverse order from 10 to 0? So what you will do, so let me write C here, and the initial number here is 10, and writing colon here and then the 0 here, what it will give me, as here it will not work, because and now you can see that from 10 to 0 it will again create the numbers which will be basically one digit away from each other. So in order to go from the higher to the lower number, what you have to do, you have to write here -1. So writing it here, you will see that these would be in the reverse order. Similarly, if you want to make them 2 digit away, this one, and if you want to make them 3 digit away, and this one as well. So that is the procedure in which this colon operator works. Okay, so that is all about the colon operator, the loop statements here and so on. Okay, so that is all about the loop statement. Similarly, what if you want to have some conditions in the loop? So in that case, this loop statement you can use here is basically the while loop. Okay, so using while loop, you can write here the while, and after inside these brackets here you can write some condition. So suppose you have some value here, and the value here is of b, and initially the b value of b is, let me call it 5. So unless and until the value of b is less than or equal to 10, okay, what you have to do, you have to display running, and after it you have to make it increased by 1, and after it end it. Okay, so let me run it now, and you will see that now it will display it 5 times, because initially the value of b is 5. It will see that the value of b is less than 10, increment it once, display running, and then it will repeat itself unless and until the value of b is less than this 10. Okay, so let me run this section, and you will see here that, okay, you will see here that it is now running, and it is running now 5 times. Okay, so this is one of the example of loops. Similarly, in all of this course here, there is another very important command, and that is the help command. So suppose if you want to know about some functions, or you want to get the help regarding some functions, you will, what you can write here, you can write here help, and after it you can write the command here about which you want to get help. So help while, like while is the keyword here in this MATLAB. So pressing enter here, you will see that all the stuff related to the while will appear here, and despite it, you can also click here this doc here, and it will also show you all the details of the while command here. Okay, so you can also check tips here, and everything whatsoever you want to learn about it. Okay, so help is also a very immediate and very important function inside the MATLAB package, which is used inside of it, and it also works without any internet connection. as well. Okay. So that's all about some important script commands and script programming. With the passage of time in our next videos, we will talk more about it, and we will try to program all the things here now in this M files. Thank you so much. Stay tuned, and I'll see you soon.